For an or, you might say is greater than 0 and age is less than or equal to 15, or age is greater than, let's say, I don't know, 16, and age is less than or equal to 20. So now I can have 0 to 15 or 16 to 20, and it would evaluate. So notice I've got these ands and the or. So it might help you put these things in parentheses so that you can kind of keep track of them. So is this statement true? Age is 0 and less than or equal to 15, or is age 16 greater than or less than or equal to 20? So if I type in 20, it should print out 20, but if I type in 21, oh, that doesn't work anymore. And if I type in 15, even though this one is not true anymore, it can still evaluate to true because of the first conditional statement. So that's a conditional statement in a nutshell. You should know that you can have as many else ifs as you want, right? Else if age is, I don't know, less than 0 and age is greater than -5, then you could have else if age is less than -5 and age is greater than -20. Notice that when I'm doing this, I have to specify the variable name each time. I'm always saying if age equals this thing, or if age equals this thing. You might think if it's less than 5 and greater than 20, but unless you specify that it's age that's greater than 20, your program will be confused. So one other thing I want you to know today, I want you to know how to call a method from another method and send that method some data. This check age thing could be really useful as a kind of independent program that other methods can use to quickly check to see if the age is high enough, right? So that way you don't have to write your conditional statement into each method that needs to check a number. You could just say, okay, check age, and you say, oh, if age is greater than or equal to 18, right? That's going to be our condition. Basically, if the number is that high, then you system.out.println age. But instead of doing that, why don't we create a return something, return true. What this is going to do is when this method is called, it's going to say, hey, here's a number, let's see number 20, and it's going to say, all right, is that number 20 greater than 18? And if it is, then it says, yes, that's true. And if it's not, it's going to say false. Now, it's not going to print that to the screen. It's going to return that true or false to the method that called it. So you've got return true, return false. Now, you notice here, this void pops up. That's because void means you don't return anything. So you have to change that void to Boolean. We're going to actually return something now. We're going to return a Boolean, and it's going to either be true or false. If you wanted to return the actual age, if you wanted to return a number, you would public static int. If you wanted to return a string, it would be public static string or float, et cetera, et cetera. But for here, I'm going to return a Boolean. The age is greater than or equal to 18, return true. Now, where does age come from? Well, it's going to be coming from a different method. So we need a parameter called age, int age. And then that other method is, or that number, that data, is going to be interpreted as a variable called age and then checked here, right? So Now, rather than just calling check age with parentheses, we'll be calling check age and putting a number along with it, right? So if I put a 5 in there, it's going to send a 5 here, and it should return false. Of course, we can't see anything right now because it's not actually putting anything to the screen. It's saying true or false to whatever called it. So here's how you actually use this. I can say if, well, let me create a new method, and I'm going to call it check, plain old check. Public static void check. And then from there, I'm going to call check age, right? And I'm going to say if age 5 sits out age is greater than 18. Now notice I didn't have to write if this is true, just saying check age 5. And because it's a Boolean, if this returns true, then it's true. If it returns false, it's false. If I wanted to say if it's not check age, get rid of this. If this returns false, then I just put an exclamation mark in front of it. But right now, I'm just checking to see, is this true? So, oh no. Where's my, oops. Oh, sorry. Missed the parentheses. All right. Now I should run. And you should see, well, okay, it's not. It didn't return anything again. But if I say if not check age, if that condition isn't met and do something, then you can see it prints this out. So what I did was I sent a number here, and it returned false. And because this is false, it prints the statement out. I know it's a bit confusing, and we'll have to work on this a bit, but this is kind of a basic explanation of how you use another method. This can be really powerful, right? As I said, you don't necessarily want to have to write the same conditional over and over again for different parts of your program. You can just have one method that does a basic check. Like, for instance, you have a ticket machine that accepts a dollar bill. And you say, like, did the person insert 165? Okay, then print out a ticket. Or did the person insert 165? Okay, that's not enough money yet for the type of ticket you want. And you just send the check over to the method that is involved with checking, and then it spits out true or false, and then you know what to do next. So that's all you need to know today. Thanks a lot, guys.